It's 1 in the afternoon right now as I'm starting this live broadcast from here, from the capital of Margarita Island in La Asuncion, to talk about how people are experiencing this very tense moment in Venezuela and what families are doing right now. Well, earlier I went out and honestly there were some lines to get into the gas station. I don't have water at home, so it's been difficult for me to get water because most places here are closed, so it's been a real problem. Let's go out to the street and see what's happening right now during this tense time in the country, and especially what's happening with the tourists here on Margarita Island who are practically trapped. At this hour, I'm being told that basically the Santiago Mariño airport here on Margarita Island is quote-unquote closed. That information isn't clear, that's just what I've heard, but thank you. Well, that's all that's known so far. On another note, I have a friend who was supposed to leave for Táchira State today. She was here for New Year's and Christmas, and now she's basically trapped. There's a lot of uncertainty about the current situation, so let's head out to the streets to tour this part of downtown Margarita Island and the main areas around the Huacuco roundabout, Farmatodo, and the adjacent area. Let's see what's going on, because apparently there's quite a bit of activity on the streets. We're starting our tour at this hour when there isn't much traffic. Usually, this area where we are now, what they call the Huacuco roundabout, connects to important cities like Juan Griego and the main beaches along Avenida 31 de Julio, which is just down here. Well, here are some shops. These are small grocery stores, and as you can see, there are basically almost no people shopping. I mean, there aren't many people, but the places are still open, and that's what I want to show you. Down here is the service station, the gas pumps. You don't see many people filling up with gas either. It looks pretty normal. And right next to it is one of the most famous bodegons, Donde Alfredo. And that one, yes, it's closed, just like the hardware store next door, which is also a world-famous hardware store. However, what does catch my attention are the empanada stands, because as I've been walking down, I've seen several empanada and food stands that are open. I even saw some instances with people actually eating there, enjoying their meals. Next, we are going to carefully enter the gas station area. So look, it's pretty smooth. You don't see any lines in this area, which is interesting because I was told that in some parts of Margarita Island in Venezuela, there are usually long lines and a lot of traffic to get gasoline. Well, there it is. It's operating normally. There are cars there, although you can see a line in the back, but we're heading there now. I'm going to get closer to the back to show you a bit of what it looks like. And honestly, I was worried. However, I thought they wouldn't be open considering the tension that's going on in the country right now. But look, everything is completely normal. There are many people leaving after completely filling up their vehicles with gas, and this charming bakery is diligently working with its shutters still halfway down, perhaps indicating an early start or a late finish to their busy day. There are people shopping. They're even using the bakeries and these small grocery stores to do their shopping. Because I was told that going to a supermarket right now is crazy because of the lines. However, I'll show you later because I'm going to go to the main supermarkets. Here are people refilling water. Here it starts. This one you can see here, a line is starting to form to get gasoline. There are the cars. Well, but it's a normal Saturday in this area that we see here, which is basically July 31st Avenue, the one that connects to the main beaches like Playa Paquito, Playa del Agua, El Tirano would be packed. There would be lines right now to go there considering the time. And as you can see, there are basically no cars. I mean, people are at home and that's how it should be. Right now, we have to stay at home. I'm showing you this so you can get an idea of how this area is right now. Right here is the pharmacy that just opened. It's the latest one they've opened. I'm about to go there to check it out because there are a lot of videos circulating on social media showing that many pharmacies are basically packed. Some have even been completely emptied out, meaning people have bought everything. People have been going out since dawn to stock up on food and medicine. But again, the message is that if you don't need any of this, don't. There's no need to create panic among people. We need to stay aware and calm so that things remain orderly in the country and so that all citizens and families can be at ease. That's the most important thing. Well, you can see how normally the cars are coming in. Obviously, these lines to get gasoline are not normal. Normally here in this area, you don't have to wait in line for gas. There's always a normal flow. And what really stands out is the number of officials moving around, as you can see. But on the other hand, this area, this street, which is Avenida 31 de Julio, one of the most important in Margarita, is literally empty. There's no traffic, no lines, which at this hour would normally be huge lines heading to the beach. It's important to remember that today is January 3rd and we're still in the high season, meaning there are currently a lot of tourists on the island, thank you, who are basically many of them trapped. In fact, I can tell you that just before starting this tour, I was talking to a friend who is here, and today, January 3rd, was her flight back to Táchira State. She is from San Cristobal and now she is trapped. She was even staying at a hotel and her stay expired, so she had to turn to other friends to have a place to stay, leave the hotel because she didn't have any more money since it was a package she had already paid for. Well, now then, so I'm telling you a bit about the situation, about what many of the tourists who are basically trapped are going through, because I understand that the airport is currently closed due to security measures. From what I understand, and now we're going to get into the pharmacy to see what's going on. Police officers everywhere. Look, right at the entrance, there's police standing guard, Bolivarian police, and we're entering the pharmacy now, as you can see. You can see how the shelves have been getting emptier in terms of distribution. You don't see much in terms of food items. Let's see, these are all creams, but look at the pharmacy section. Well, there are people lining up there. Honestly, it looks pretty normal to me. What does seem unusual to me is the decrease in food items on the shelves. You can see there are some pretty significant shortages here. However, from what I understand, well, look at this side, it's completely empty here. There's nothing on this shelf. Diapers, this is the diaper section, toilet paper. There are people asking about things. Look at this part, the shelf is completely empty. I want to remind everyone, there's no need to panic, family. Staying calm is the most important thing right now. We need to keep calm and a cool head so things don't get out of control in the country. That's the most important message I want to convey. And well, if you need to buy things, of course, you should go look for them, but don't buy more than you need. We don't want to cause the shortages from years ago and have people who haven't had the chance to go shopping end up with nothing. Let's head outside, let's keep walking around this area, because right after leaving Farmatodo, we're going to one of the most important supermarkets. On Margarita Island, which is right here, this is the Huacuco crossing area, and it's one of the zones that has been growing over the past year. As you can see, the flow of vehicles is starting to increase a bit, although it seems that at this time, around 3 in the afternoon, people are already heading back. Earlier today, I went out and did a live stream, but due to some issues, technical issues, the internet was quite slow. However, if you were watching the stream later, it was literally all lost. I lost the entire recording from earlier this morning because the internet cut off the stream. I was doing a live broadcast and it got lost. Literally nothing came out. I think a few people saw it, but when I tried to upload it, the recording was completely erased, as if I hadn't recorded anything at all. Thank you. Absolutely no one. At that moment, there were a lot of people buying and taking things. That was early in the morning, around 10 a.m. or so. And basically, well, I had to restart. I went home, downloaded what I had, and it turns out I hadn't actually lost the recording. But anyway, here we are again. I'm going to be doing these broadcasts during these special days. So I invite you to subscribe to the channel right now so you can stay active and know what's going on. Happening right now on Margarita Island, it's a tough time in the country, a moment of tension. The main and most prominent cities in the country, like the bustling Caracas, the vibrant Valencia, the historic Maracay, and the significant Maracaibo. Right now, there's also a considerable amount of tension present there. However, as is always the case, please remember to consistently stay calm, to always maintain a sense of peace and tranquility within our own homes. If it's not necessary to go out, if you don't need to go out, well, let's stay calm at home, and from home try to keep up with the news. For those of us who work with social media, we're trying to report what's happening without giving our opinions. You have the final say. Look at what's happening. People are looking for water. Obviously, it's very important. I was lucky, I'm telling you. I basically had to wait in line after I found some because the potable water vendors weren't open. They were completely closed, and then a few opened up. This one is at the Huacuco intersection, for those of you in Margarita. But I went to another one and the line was incredible. Honestly, it took me almost 2 full hours to be able to completely fill up my vehicle. Now let's go straight to one of the most significant and important supermarkets in the entire Rio chain, which is located right here. And I've just been reliably informed that there are already long lines forming to get in and shop at this particular supermarket at this very hour. Let's keep moving forward. This is 31 de Julio Avenue. This is the one that connects to two of the most important beaches, Playa del Agua and Playa Parguito. From here to that area, it's about 10 kilometers. That's roughly the distance from this important beach. But anyway, right here, we're already arriving at the Rio supermarket that's in this area of La Asuncion, which is the capital of Margarita Island. We're literally in the capital of Margarita Island. And this is what the streets look like at this hour, right now. January 3rd here in Venezuela on Margarita Island. And as you can see, this is the Rio supermarket. We're right in front of it and we're going to go inside. I'm going to go in to try to park and show you how this tense moment is being experienced in Venezuela and on Margarita Island. There are a lot of people who are writing to me right now. This is the moment for you to write to me about what the situation is like in the state where you're watching this video, what the situation is like in the country where you're watching this video. I know there are many Venezuelans who follow us from the United States, from Chile, from Colombia, from Peru, who are watching our videos right now. And I'm broadcasting at this moment so that you can have a perspective of what is currently happening on Margarita Island. Well, here you can literally see the line or queue of people waiting to get into this Rio supermarket, which is one of the 9 Rio supermarkets on Margarita Island. Remember that this supermarket chain started here on Margarita Island. The first Rio supermarket was established here, and this is the headquarters where all the supermarkets in this chain are managed. By the way, I believe it has Turkish roots, and the entire chain is run from here, from Margarita Island, for all of Venezuela. Well, just look at how things are at this hour. People are, I must say, very orderly, standing in line, queuing up to get in and restock their groceries, whatever they need. There's the National Guard as well, guarding all the entrances to the supermarkets. And, well, they're trying to maintain order, but I have to say, I've seen a lot of civility. It must be said that the Venezuelan people, we Venezuelans, have learned to handle tense situations in the country. Well, after so many situations we've experienced over so many years, Venezuelans have learned to handle themselves in all kinds of circumstances. And that's why you can see there's complete calm in the streets. People are going about their business, looking for what they need, but with total normalcy, complete calm. And that's what I want to show you. As I always say, you have the final word about what you're seeing in this area. I'm also going to try now to head to another part of the center of the capital of Margarita Island, where there's another one of the most important businesses, which are the Chinese-owned supermarkets, the Chinese stores that are always open. Let's see if they're open. If not, this is one of the main streets, one of the main avenues that connects to the city of Juan Griego on Margarita Island. From here to Juan Griego is approximately 40 minutes. We're quite far away from the city, but basically this is the center of Margarita Island, and from here you can connect to all the cities, Pampatar, Porlamar, and other places. Look, all these businesses, today is Saturday, and they're basically closed like this. A lot of people stayed home, others are opening up. Well, mostly what you see opening are food businesses, bakeries, supermarkets, pharmacies, the essential places that are open. This bakery is open for business. Actually, it's not, it's closed. So there are some bakeries that are closed and others that have opened. And here's another place where people refill water, and this one is open. Look how packed this place is. There are lines outside. Seriously, look at the number of water jugs, people waiting to refill their water. Because, well, it's no secret that water is vital. It's something essential. And I'm telling you, I'm literally without water. I can't even shower. I don't have any water at home. I called to request a water truck, and they don't even answer. So I'll literally have to bathe with bottled drinking water because we have no water. And well, let's hope this situation gets resolved quickly. The news we're seeing right now is pretty, I don't know how to describe it, whether it's worrying or I don't know. Honestly, I don't have the words to describe what's happening, but right now I'm heading to Plaza Bolivar in the capital of Margarita Island, La Asuncion. And so at this hour, where all the public authorities are located, it's practically deserted and silent, as if everyone has gone home. Here is the Plaza de la Asuncion, and you might see the occasional motorcyclist, but basically everything is calm. In a way, that reassures me, honestly, to see that everything is very peaceful, thank God. I always say that the most important thing is to take refuge in God. And as I always say, may God protect us from everything that's happening in our country. I always say that I have the best wishes for our island of Margarita and for all of Venezuela, especially for all my followers in the country. Take care of yourselves, stay safe, and don't go out unless it's necessary. Stay at home. For now, the internet is working. There is electricity in some places, so stay informed through those means. I will also keep doing live broadcasts as long as I can. At night, I'll probably do another live broadcast in the afternoon. So subscribe to the channel right now. Right here are the municipal authorities, the Asuncion City Hall, and well, I'm about to end this broadcast. Stay active. Let me know in the comments how things are in your area. Tell me about your states, your cities in Venezuela, and share how things are where you are watching this video from. I'll say goodbye from here until the next broadcast coming up soon.